Okay, again. Okay, the title of the play should be in italics, like novel, like in a novel. You make the title italic. Some of you used quotation marks, but. And okay, numbers, right? The number should be in letters, not figures. 1 through 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Until 9, you use numbers, not the Arabic numbers, right? So 1, TWO, THRE. I don't know why. It's practice. Consist is an intransitive verb. So you can't say is consisted of, right? Consist of. Comprise is a transitive verb. Is comprised of, are comprised of, right? And wonder, I wonder what, I wonder why, not I wonder that why, no. Is it feminism? Is it a feminist play? Maybe. All the titles of the play should be in italics. Remind somebody of something. That reminded me of the past instance. Reminded me that subject verb, right? And okay. Like is a either verb or preposition. I like it. Or if I am like, no. I am like my father. That's an adjective. I'm like my father, but I like my father. So different meaning. Okay. Great. I think personally I find this play fascinating. Very good. Tightly knit play. More compact than any of Shakespeare's, I think. It's like a poem. And every single word counts in this play. Every single property counts. Every act or state direction counts. Okay, we're going to read it, right? And very good. But most of you dislike this play. I don't like this play, but this is good play. So generally you like a play that ends well. I don't know, right? Gloria is actually, did you pay attention to the footnotes? Maria is from a Greek mythology goddess, the woman's name is similar to the goddess. So it's taken from Greek mythology, Maria. And Nora and Catherine, two daughters. Catherine is very practical, right? Very practical. She is the leader of the house, right? The house head, right? And Bartley, strong-willed, young. He never pays any attention to her mother, threatening him not to go, but he goes away anyway. And a few of you pointed to the conclusion, right? Reconciled with fate. I think Maria has nothing to lose anymore, right? So, and also in this play, the player, the writer, the playwright hardly gives you any time to weep. Right? It's very sad. You are ready to weep, but he moves on to another scene. So that's what. It's not very sentimental, right? And also, it's one-act play, but there is a lot of action packed in this single play. So it's a great play, and this is one of the first plays, one of the early plays by Singh. So he did the first play, and it was masterpiece. Great, right? So let's go to the play itself. Persons in the play, right? Maria, an old woman, actually mother. Bartley, her son. Catherine, her daughter. Nora, younger daughter. Men and women. In an island off the west of Ireland. Actually, there are 3 islands. The Aran Islands consist of 3 islands. The biggest one, Aramor, Inishmaan, and the second largest is this one, Inishmaan. Actually, if you go there, there is a cottage where Singh stayed for several winters. Several, I don't know, winters, summers, maybe, several times. And the smallest one is Inisha. The smallest one is Inisha. I stayed in Inishmore and went to Inishmaan for half a day and came back. Right? So why he went there is to learn. People there, Inishmaan, they speak Gaelic. So he wanted to learn the Gaelic language. Cottage kitchen with nets, oilskins, spinning wheel, some new boards standing by the wall, etc. Spinning wheel, nets, oilskins. These things are what? The basic things. They represent their lifestyle. They live by catching fish, right? And also they weave. It's famous for the knitwear, and world famous. And every house had this spinning wheel. Right, so some new balls standing by the wall, etc. What are the new balls for? They are for what? Michael was recently drowned, and they are waiting for the body to show up. But they are waiting for it. But Maria says in the middle of the play, "That's for me," right? Right. So Catherine, a girl of about 20, finishes kneading cake and puts it down in the pot oven by the fire, then wipes her hands, begins to spin at the wheel. Very busy, right? Nora, a young girl, puts her head in at the door. Nora, in a low voice, "Where is she? Where is she?" The introduction is very good. Scene, then the door opens, and a head shows up. That's Nora. Where is she? So you can. The play begins in the middle of the event, right? So where is she, Catherine? She's lying down. God help her, and maybe sleeping, if she's able. Nora comes in softly, takes a bundle from under a shawl. So you understand why she is careful, right? She's hiding something under a shawl, right? So everything counted in play, right? Everything's counted. Catherine, spinning the wheel rapidly. "What is it you have? What is it you have? Was it you have? Is it you have?" Nora, the young priest is after bringing them. I think this is a dialect spoken in the Aran Islands. Is after bringing them, has brought something. Past tense, is after bringing them. Is a shirt and plain stocking. It's the relative pronoun which that were omitted, right? So in all of the sentences, the relative pronoun that which are omitted, right? Is a shirt and plain stocking were got off a drowned man in Donegal. Actually, it proved to be what? It's Michael's. Catherine stops her wheel with a sudden movement and leans out to listen. Nora, we are to find out if it's Michael's they are. Here again, find out if they are Michael's. If they are Michael's, but if it's Michael's they are, right? Sometime herself, she, right, herself will be down looking by the sea. Catherine, how would they be Michael's, Nora? How would he go the lengths of that way to the far north? Oh. So you understand this, right? The current, right? There is current under the sea, right? And it flows fast, right? Nora, the young priest says he's known the like of it. If it's Michael's they are, says he, you can tell herself she's got a clean burial by the grace of God. Clean burial, what does it mean? Water burial, right? There are different kinds of burial. Water burial and burial, earth burial, you dug and buried, and also wind burial, and bird burial, bird. If your parent died, you cut them up, cut the body up, and throw the body part to the birds. In Tibet, right? That's a good way, right? Because if you keep the body, it's become a problem for you, right? So they have their own way to bury bodies, right? So you can tell herself she's got a clean burial by the grace of God. By the grace of God. Every time she said, she used by the grace of God. Thankful to God. Right? And if they are not his, let no one say a word about them. For she'll be getting her death with crying and lamenting, says he. The door, which Nora half closed, is blown open by a gust of wind. So this stage direction is what? Can you create this kind of stage direction? No, you can't. You have to live in the island. There is strong wind, gust of wind. Suddenly, the shower, and suddenly there's sun shining, and it's beautiful, right? But there is much wind there, and if you go there, you see trees. Trees stands like this, right? 45 degrees. 45 degrees one way. All right. So much. So also, it gives you some kind of terror, right? Suddenly, the door opens by itself. Suddenly. So right. So the door, which Nora half closed, is blown open by a gust of wind. Supernatural, right? Superstitious. Catherine, looking out anxiously, did you ask him, would he stop Bartley going this day with the horses to the Galway affair? Here, did you ask him if he would stop? If, you change the verb and subject verb, it becomes question, right? So, did you ask him, would he stop Bartley going this day, today, with the horses to the Galway fair? So, in these words, you see that he is going to the market to sell horses. Right? You can guess. So, how many dialogues? Several, but you can guess what is happening. You can understand what is happening. A lot of things behind these dialogues, right? And Galway Fair. Galway is the island's nearest livestock market. Actually, from the Aramore, you can see the Galway, right? You can see Galway. Now, Nora, I won't stop him, says he. I won't stop him, says he. But let you not be afraid. She herself, does be saying prayers half through the night, and the Almighty God won't leave her destitute, says he, with no son living. So, what does it mean? He is father, right? His profession is what? To console people. But he is not trying to stop him. He doesn't know, he's young, inexperienced, right? If he were an old father, probably she'll try to talk him out of it. But he does not know, and let him go, let him do what he wants. So, and mother knows this. He's not experienced. Catherine, is the sea bad by the white rocks, Nora? By the white rocks? By the white rocks, Nora? Nora, middling bad. Do you use it in the US? Middling bad, right? It's a dialect. God help us. There's a great roaring in the west, and it's worse. It'll getting, when the tides turn to the wind, she goes over to the table with a bundle. Shall I open it now? Catherine, maybe she'd wake up on us and come in before we're done. Coming to the table, it's a long time will be, and the two of us crying. Nora goes to the inner door and listens. So you can guess, mother's sleeping, trying to sleep, and she's moving about on the bed. She'll be coming in a minute. Catherine, give me the ladder. I'll put them up in the top loft. Yeah? And the loft, the room where the top is kept, right? Put them up in the top loft, the way she won't know of them at all. Maybe when the tide turns, she'll be going down to see if he would be floating from the sea. They put the ladder against the gable of the chimney. Catherine goes up a few steps and hides the bundle in the top loft. Maria comes from the inner room. She caught it, right? And they pretend, right? Maria looking up Catherine, speaking querulously. Isn't it tough enough? Isn't it not tough enough you have for this day and evening? So she's complaining. You are burning too much tough, right? She's complaining, right? Catherine, there is a cake baking at the fire for a short space, throwing down the turf. Catherine pretends, right? So throwing down the turf. Bartley will want it when the tide turns, if he goes to Connemara. Nora picks up the turf and puts it around the pot oven. So this is good, right? They pretend that the audience know what is happening, right? Right? So Maria sitting down on a stool at the fire. He won't go this day with the wind rising from the south and west. He won't go this day, for the young priest will stop him, surely. So Maria expects the young priest, but he will not do it. Nora, he'll not stop him, mother. And I heard even Simon, Stephen Philly, and Callum Sean saying he would go. So neighbors know what he is, right? He's very, very strong-willed. He does what he says, right? So everybody knows him. Maria, where is he itself? Where is he himself instead of himself itself? Right? Where is he itself? Nora, he went down to see would there be another boat sailing in the wick. And I'm thinking it won't be long till he's here now. For the tide is turning at the Greenhead, and the hookers attacking him from the east. Hooker is a boat, small ship, tacking from the east. Tacking means what? Turning toward the wind, tacking from the east. Catherine, I hear someone passing the big storms. Nora looking at it. He is coming now. He in a hurry. Bartley, right? He is coming. Bartley comes in and looks around the room, speaking sadly and quietly. Where's the bit of new robe, Catherine? That was brought in Connemara. Catherine, coming down. Give it to him, Nora. It's on a nail by the white boards. I hung it up this morning, for the pig with the black feet was eating it. Catherine. Nora, giving him robe. Is that it, Bartley? Maria, you do right to leave that robe, Bartley, hanging by the boards. So she's worried, right? Don't touch it. Right? Bartley takes the robe. It'll be wanting in this place. I'm telling you, if Michael is washed up tomorrow morning, or the next morning, or any morning in the week, for it's a deep grave will make him by the grace of God. So I saw a photograph in which there was burial and two grown-up men carrying a coffin, following old man, a few women following it. So that's the scene of burial, right? In Korea, it's unique, right? There is a carriage decorated with all kinds of flowers. There is a lead man. He is shaking a bell, and so many people following. And at the head of the carriage, there is a sedan in which there is a photograph, and the offspring carry the carry the small box, and there are poles and flags, colorful, very beautiful flags, carried so many people, and the scene is very sad, right? And that's the traditional Korean funeral scene, right? So Bartley. So they needed rope, right? They have to dig a deep hole to give it a deep burial, right? So leave it there, right? She says. Bartley, beginning to work with the rope. I have no halter the way I can ride down on the mare. So he is thrown off the mare, right? Thrown off into the water, and he's to drown. He's to be drowned, right? I must go now quickly. This is the one boat going for 2 weeks or beyond it. The fare will be a good fare for horses. I heard them saying below. Maria, it's a hard thing they'll be saying below if the body is washed up and there's no man in it to make the coffin. After giving a big price for the finest white boars you'd find in the Connemara. She looks round at the boars. But how would it be washed up? We, after looking each day for 9 days, and a strong wind blowing a while back from the west and south. Maria, if it wasn't found itself, that wind is raising the sea, and there was a star up against the moon, and it rising in the night. If it was 100 horses, 1,000 horses you had itself, what is the price of 1,000 horses against the sun where there is no sun only? Well, this is good, right? We can sympathize with her, right? Bartley, working at the halter to Catherine. Let you go down each day and see the ship on jumping in on the Rye, and if the jobber comes, you can sell the pig with the black feet if there is a good price going. So Bartley is giving instructions how to manage the house while he is absent, right? So you can guess what is happening, what he has done, right? Very good, right? Maria, how would the like of get a good price for a pig? Maria, she is not a good, poor negotiator, right? She can't get a good price. Bartley to Catherine, if the west wind holds with the last bit of the moon, let you and Nora get up weed enough for another cock for the kelp. Cock is a unique meaning. Cock is a pile of drying weed. Cock. So actually, Inishman is a huge rock, no soil in it. So you have to gather seaweeds and pile them up, so that they are fertilizers. They become fertilizers. So for another pile, for the kelp. Kelp is the seaweeds, like Tasima, right? Or Mia, right? Tasima and Mia are a little different, but kelp is the. So its heart set will be from this day with no one in it, but one man to work. Maria, its heart set will be surely the day you are drowned with the rest. What way will I leave and the girls with me and I, an old woman, looking for the grave? Bartley lays down the halter, takes off his old coat, puts on a new one of the same flannel. Bartley to Nora. Is she coming to the pier? She means what? What does it mean? The ship, right? Is she coming to the pier? Nora looking up. She is passing the green hat, letting fall her sails. Bartley getting spurs and tobacco. He is ready to go. I'll have half an hour to go down, and you'll see me coming again in 2 days, or in 3 days, or maybe in 4 days if the wind is bad. So actually, it'll take about more than half hour to go from pier to the village. So there's Catherine. So when you get out of this island, when you see the ship coming to the around Inishman, you can go down, right? So because it takes about half an hour. Still, when you see the ship approaching the island, you can go down. Or there is a taxi there, right? Okay. Maria, turning round to the fire and putting her shawl over her head. Isn't it a hard and cruel man who won't hear a word from old woman, and she holding him from the sea? Maria. Catherine, is the life of a young man to be going on the sea, and who would listen to an old woman with one thing and she's saying it over? So Catherine is very practical, right? So, but Maria knows what to happen in the future, right? So, partly taking the quote, I must go now quickly. I'll ride down on the red mare, and the grey pony will run behind me. The blessing of God on you. The blessing of God on you. So on you, mother and 2 sisters, right? He goes out. Maria, crying out as he is in the door. He's gone now, God spare us, and we'll see not him again. He's gone now, and when the black night is falling, I'll have no son left me in the world. So this kind of thing is what? Tension, right? What is happening? Audiences know what is to happen, right? Catherine, why wouldn't you give him some of your blood? He, looking round in a door, isn't this sorrow enough? It's that on everyone in this house, without your sending him out, with an unlucky word behind him and a hard word in his ear. Makes sense, right? Right. Makes sense. Maria takes up the tongs and begins raking the fire aimlessly without looking round. So this gesture, right? She rakes the fire, but actually she's not doing it. She's thinking about something else, right? Aimlessly, right? Aimlessly. Nora, turning towards her, you are taking away the top from the cake. Nora, a very young daughter, you are taking away the top from the cake, right? And then Catherine, crying out, the Son of God forgave us, Nora. We are after forgetting his bit of bread. She comes over to fire. So they forgot to give the bread to him, right? Nora. And it's destroyed. All he'll be going till dark night. It's terrible, right? And he, after eating nothing since the sun went up. Catherine, turning the cake out of the oven, it's destroyed he'll be. Surely there is no sense left on any person in a house where an old woman will be talking forever. She's blaming her. Maria sways herself on a stool. Catherine, cutting off some of the bread and rolling it in a cloth to Maria. Let you go down now to the spring well and give him this, and he passing. You'll see him there, and the dark word will be broken, and you can say, God speed you the way he'll be easy in his mind. Maria, taking the bread. Will I be in it as soon as he himself? Catherine, if you go now quickly. Maria, standing up unsteadily. It's hard that I'm to work. Catherine, looking at her anxiously. Give her the stick, Nora, or maybe she'll sleep on the big stones. Nora, what stick? Catherine, the stick Michael brought from Connemara. So this is wonderful, right? The stick. Michael, who had been drowned, right? He had bought it, right? In Connemara. So she's carrying the stick. So everything is connected, right? Wonderful. So Maria, taking stick, Nora gives in the big world, the old people do be living things after them, after their sons and children, but in this place, it is the young men do be living things behind for them that do be old, right? Reversed, right? She goes on slowly. Nora goes over to the ladder. Now, they are going to look at the bundle. Catherine. Nora goes over to the ladder. Wait, Nora, maybe she'd turn back quickly. She's that sorry. She's that sorry. God help her. You wouldn't know the thing she would do, Nora. Is she going round the bush? So, is she going round the bush? So far, and she will not come back. Catherine, looking out. She's gone now. Throw it down quickly, for the Lord knows when she'll be out of it again. Nora, getting the bundle from the loft. The young priest said he'd be passing tomorrow, and we might go down and speak to him below. If Michael's they are, surely. Catherine, taking the bundle. Did he say what way they were found? Nora, coming down. There were two men, said he, and they rowing round with the poteen before the cocks crowed. Poteen, the whiskey, Irish whiskey. So if you go to Dublin, the capital of Ireland, on Sunday or Saturday, every young man are drunk, and they're very kind. I asked for the way, and one guy came to me with a can, gave it to me, and he kindly showed me the way. And everybody's drunk and very, very kind, right? So, cocks crowed, and one of them caught the body, and they black clips. Catherine, trying to bundle. Give me a knife, Nora. The strings perish with the salt water, and there's a black knot on it. You wouldn't loosen in a week. Nora, give me a knife. I've heard people tell it was a long way to Donegal. Catherine, cutting the string. It is, surely. There was a man in here a while ago. The man sold us the knife. And he said if he set off walking from the rocks beyond, it would be 7 days they'd be in Donegal. Nora, what time would the man take? He's floating. Catherine opens the bundle and takes out a bit of shirt and stocking. They look at them eagerly. Catherine, in a low voice, the Lord spare us. Nora, isn't it a queer, hard thing to say? If it's his, they are surely. You did this part, right? Certainly, this is a fascinating play, one-act play, but we'll treat it as if it's a two-act play, right? Why don't you talk a little bit about this, right? In a group, in how many? 3 here, and make 3 groups and have some talk about what is unique. Did you read a lot of plays? No, not very many plays. What is unique? What do you find most interesting in this play? Except the Daleks, right? Daleks we don't know. Have some talk with groups, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, page 21. Catherine, right? Bottom, at the bottom. Catherine opens the bundle and takes out a bit of shirt and stocking. They look at them eagerly. Maria is out, right? Catherine, in a low voice, spare us, Nora. Isn't it a queer hard thing to say? If it's his, they are sure. Nora, I'll get a shot of the hook, the way we can put the one frontal on the other. She looks through some clothes hanging in the corner. It's not with them. Catherine, where will it be? Where will it be? Catherine, I'm thinking possibly put it on him in the morning. For its own shirt was heavy with the salt in it, pointing to the corner. There's a bit of sleeve was of the same stuff. Give me that, and it will do. Nora brings it to her and compare the frontal. Catherine, it's the same stuff, Nora, but if it is itself, aren't there great rolls of it in the shops of Galway? And isn't it many another man may have a shot of it, as well as Michael himself? Nora, who has taken up the stocking and counted the stitches, cry out, "It's Michael, Catherine, it's Michael." God spare his soul, and what will herself say when she hears the story, Bartley on the sea? Catherine, taking the stocking, is a plain stocking. Nora, second one of the third pair I knitted and put up 70 stitches, and I dropped 4 of them. Catherine counts the stitches. It's the same number, isn't it? Crying out, Nora, isn't it a better thing to think of him floating that way to the far north, no one to ken him but the black hags that do be flying on the sea? Nora swinging herself round, throwing her arms on the quilt. And isn't it a pitiful thing when there's nothing left of a man who was a great Rowan fisher, but a bit of old shirt and plain stocking? Catherine, for instance, tell me, is herself coming? Nora, I hear a little sound on the path. Looking out, she is Catherine. She is coming up to the door. So this is unique, right? The playwright does not give the readers to weep, right? No time to. Yeah. Looking out, she is Catherine. She is coming up to the door. Catherine, put these things away before she'll come in. Maybe it's easier. She'll be after giving her blessing to Bartley, and we won't let on we've heard anything the time she is on the sea. Nora, helping Catherine to close the bundle. We'll put them here in the corner. They put them in a hole in the chimney corner. Catherine goes back to the spinning wheel. Nora, will she see it was crying I was? Catherine, keep your back to the door, the way the light will not be on you. Nora sits down at the chimney corner with her back to the door. Maria comes in very slowly without looking at the girls and goes over to her stool at the other side of the fire. The cloth with the bread is still in her hand. The girls look at each other, and Nora points to the bundle of bread. Catherine, after spinning for a moment, you didn't give him his bit of bread? Maria begins to cane softly without turning round. Catherine, did you see him writing down? Maria goes on caning. Catherine, a little impatiently, God forgive you. Isn't it a better thing to raise your voice and tell what you've seen than to be making lamentation for a thing that's done? Did you see Bartley? I'm saying to you. Maria, with a weak voice, my heart's broken from this day. Catherine, as before, did you see Bartley? Maria, I seen the fearfulest thing. Catherine leaves her wheel and looks out. God forgive you. She's riding the mare now over the green head and the grey pony behind him. Maria stops. So the shawl falls back from her head and shows a white hair with a frightened voice, the great pony behind him. Catherine, coming to the fire. What is it ails you at all? Maria, speaking very slowly. I've seen the fearfulest thing in any person has seen since the day bride Dara seen the dead man with a child in his arms. Catherine and Nora. Oh. They crouched down in front of the old man at the fire. Nora, tell us what is you seen? Maria, I went to the spring well and I stood there saying a prayer to myself. Then Bartley came along. He riding on the red mare with the grey pony behind him. She puts up her hands as if to hide something from her eyes. The Son of God, spare us. Nora, what is you seen? Maria, I seen Michael himself. Catherine, speaking softly. You did not, Mother. It was Michael you seen, for his body is after being found in the far north, and he's got a crane burial by the grace of God. Maria, a little defiantly. I'm after seeing him this day, and he riding and galloping. Bartley came first on the red mare, and I tried to say, God speed you, but something choked the word in my throat. It went by quickly. The blessing of God on you, says he, and I could say nothing. I looked up then, and I cried at the great pony, and there was Michael upon it, with fine clothes on him and new shoes on his feet. So this is fantastic, right? Maria sees the ghost. Right? Yeah. Catherine begins to kin. It's destroyed we are from this day. It's destroyed, Fury. Nora. Didn't the young prince say the Almighty God wouldn't leave destitute with no son living? So Nora is the youngest girl and very naive, right? Yeah. Maria, in a low voice, but clearly, is little the like of him knows of the sea. Maria, the old woman, knows the young minister, father. Partly will be lost now, and let you call in Eamon and make me a good coffin out of white boards. Make me a good coffin. Not make a good coffin for him, right? For I won't leave after them. I've got a husband and a husband's father and 6 sons in this house, 6 fine men, though it was hard birth I had with every one of them, and they coming into the world, and some of them were found and some of them were not found. But they are gone now. The lot of them, they were Stephen and Sean, were lost in the great wind, and found after in the Bay of Gregory of the Golden Mouth. We carried up the 2 of them on one plank, and by the door. She paused for a moment. The girls stopped as if they heard something through the door that's half open behind them, and whisper, "Did you hear that, Catherine? Did you hear a noise in the northeast?" Catherine, in a whisper, "There's something after crying out by the seashore." Maria continues without hearing anything. There was a Seamus and his father and his own father again were lost in a dark night, and not a stick or sign was seen of them when the sun went up. There was Patch, afterwards drowned out of Kirok's boat. Kirok's traditional Irish boat made of wooden frame over which animal hide is stretched. Actually, you can find a scene about this being described about this boat, feeling the waves underneath the skin, right? So, and turned over. They turned over. I was sitting here with Bartley, and he, a baby, lying on my 2 knees, and I seen 2 women and 3 women and 4 women coming in, and they crossing themselves, not saying a word. I looked out then, and there were men coming after them. They holding a thing in the half of red sail, and what's dripping out of it, it was dry day, Nora, and leaving a track to the door. She poses again with her hand stretched out towards the door. It opens softly, and old women begin to come in, crossing themselves on the threshold and kneeling down in front of the stage with red petticoats over their heads. Maria, half in a dream to Catherine, Is it a Patch or Michael? Or was it at all? Still, Maria doesn't understand it. Catherine, Michael is after being found in the farmhouse, and when he was found there, how could it be here in this place, Maria? There's be a power of young man floating around in the sea, and what way would they know if it was Michael they had, or another man like him? For when a man is 9 days in the sea and the wind blowing, it's hard that his own mother would be to say what man was in it. Catherine, it's Michael, God spare him, for they are after sending us a bit of his clothes from the farmhouse. She reached out and hands Maria the clothes that belong to Michael. Maria stands up slowly and takes them in her hands. Nora looks out. Nora, they are carrying a thing among them. There's water dripping out of it and leaving a track by big stones. Catherine, in a whisper to the women who have come in, is it Bartley? Is it? It is. One of women, it is Sherry. God rest his soul. Two younger women come in and pull out the table. Then men carry in the body of Bartley, laid out plank with a bit of sail over it, and lay it on the table. Catherine, to the women as they are doing so, what way was he drowned? One of the women, the great Pane knocked him over into the sea, and he was washed out, where there is a great surf on the white rocks. Maria has gone over and knelt down at the head of the table. The women were kneeling softly and swaying themselves with a slow motion movement. Catherine and Nora kneel at the other side of the table. At the other end of the table, the man kneel near the door. Maria, raising her head and speaking as if she did not see the people around there. They are all gone now. There isn't anything more that the sea can do to me. I'll have no call now to be up crying and praying when the wind breaks from the south. You can hear the surface in the east and the surface in the west making a great stir with the two noises, and they hitting one and the other. I'll have no call now to be going down and getting holy water in the dark night after champagne. And I won't care what way the sea is when the other women will be keening to Nora. Give me holy water, Nora. There's small sup still on the dresser. Nora gives it to her. Maria drops Michael's clothes across Bartley's feet and sprinkles the holy water over him. It isn't that I haven't prayed for you, Bartley, to the Almighty God. It isn't that I haven't said prayers in the dark night till you wouldn't know what I'd be saying. But this great rest I'll have now, and it's time, surely. It's great rest I'll have now, and great sleeping in the long nights after champagne. If it's only a bit of wet flour we do have to eat, maybe a fish that would be stinking. She kneels down again, crossing herself, saying prayers under her breath. Catherine, to an old man, maybe yourself, Neiman, would make a coffin when the sun rises. We have fine white boards of salt pot. God help her, thinking Michael would be found. And I have few cake you can eat while you are working. The old woman looking at the boards. Are the nails with them? Catherine, they are not, Colum. We didn't think of nails. Another man, it's a great wonder she wouldn't think of nails and all the coffins she's seen made already. Catherine, it's getting old she is and broken. Maria stands up again very slowly and spreads out pieces of Michael's clothes beside the body, sprinkling them with the last of the holy water. Nora, and whispered to Catherine, she's quiet now and easy. And the day Michael was drowned, you could hear her crying out from this to the spring well. It's thunder. She was of Michael, and would anyone have thought that? Nora is the youngest girl, and she didn't understand it, right? Right. She didn't understand the mother. Catherine, slowly and clearly, an old woman will soon be tired with anything she will do. And isn't it 9 days of selfies after crying and kinning and making great sorrow in the house? Still, Catherine doesn't understand either. Maria, push the empty cup mouth downwards on the table and lays her hands together on Bartley's feet. They are all together this time, and the end is come. May the Almighty God have mercy on Bartley's soul, on Michael's soul, on the souls of Seamus and Patchy and Stephen John, bending her head. May have mercy on my soul, Nora, my soul, Nora, and on the soul of everyone left living in the world. She poses. The king rises a little more loudly from the women, then sinks away. Maria, continuing. Michael has a clean burial in the far north. By the grace of Almighty God, Bartley will have a fine coffin out of white boards and a deep grave surely. But what more can we want them that? No one at all can be living forever, and we must be satisfied. She kneels down again. The curtain falls slowly. So I think most of you like this play, but you don't like the contents, but the still. So we are under the influence of what? Modernist poetics, theory of drama in general, stories that ends well, stories that ends happily ever after. You like that story, right? But these days, some of the works, for example, the paintings by Sam Francis, it's about the pain, agony, right? And still, it's quite interesting, and it attracts a lot of attention. And actually, the painting sold. They're very expensive, right? The most expensive thing these days. And so, these days, many movies end badly, right? Bad guy triumphs, right? Instead of good guys.